What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the latest Liverpool news update video. And I'm still absolutely fuming that Liverpool failed to sign a midfielder in the January transfer window after signing Arthur on deadline day in the summer transfer window on loan. He has been injured throughout his whole Liverpool career, so why on earth are we not signing a midfielder? And there is, according to some Twitter accounts, still 6 free agents that are available to sign. Isco is one of them. I mean, he used to be an absolutely brilliant player for Real Madrid. Of course, he's in a little bit of a decline, but he's better than nothing. Isco is a free agent. Max Kruse is a free agent as well. He would be also a pretty decent signing. Not sure about Jesse Rodriguez or Jurgen Locadia, but Vershaiko, who used to play right back for Atletico Madrid, he is also a free agent, and we don't really have a proper backup to Trent Alexander-Arnold. And what this list does show is that there is still an abundance of talent available for a very low fee. But I mean, look at all the other Premier League clubs, how many midfielders they signed. And also, don't tell me there wasn't a midfielder available who could have helped Liverpool, because Man United, one day before deadline day, they learned that Eriksen is out with a big injury for 3 months, and it took them just one day to get Sabitzer from Bayern Munich, who Liverpool were linked with even when he was playing for Leipzig. Why didn't we get him? We knew throughout the whole January transfer window we needed a midfielder, and we let Sabitzer go on loan to Man United. That it would have cost Liverpool £1 or £2 million to get Sabitzer in for half a season, and he's better than Jordan Henderson, he's fitter than Naby Keita, and he offers us experience and options in the midfield area. We are relying on 18-year-old Bajcetic, an injury-prone Naby Keita, an injury-prone Thiago, an injury-prone Joe Gomez, an injury-prone Joao Matip to stay fit and to keep Liverpool somewhat even like within touching distance of the top 5, top 6, whatever it is in the Premier League, until we get Virgil van Dijk back from injury, Konate, Luis Diaz, Jota. Yes, Liverpool have a lot of injuries, but when you have a lot of injuries and when you have a chance to strengthen in the January transfer window, you take your chance. You don't sit on your hands. And don't even get me started on Chelsea, who spent 320 million euros in the January transfer window alone. They spent 619 million euros in the last 6 months, more than what the entire Bundesliga, the third richest league, the third biggest league in the world, behind Premier League and La Liga, the Bundesliga spent less amount of money than Chelsea, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I think they are, trying to circumvent financial fair play rules by giving the likes of Mudryk and Enzo Fernandez these 7.5 or 8-year contracts, and basically they can divide the transfer fee in the accounting department to like 8 parts or 7 parts, however long his contract is. Sorry, there is construction going on in the next door flat, so sorry if you hear any background noise. And the only saving grace and the only hope that I'm clinging on to is that FSG didn't want to spend a dime anymore, because they know that the sale of Liverpool Football Club is imminent. Let's hope and pray that that is the case, because if we are not sold to a better, richer ownership group, then Liverpool are absolutely doomed, because apart from Everton, everybody else spent almost as much or even more, a lot more than Liverpool, and I don't understand. I mean, Man United also failed to spend because of the imminent sale of the club, and they still managed to get Sabitzer on loan. And recency bias is very strong in the transfer window. If we waited all January for a signing and then Cody Gakpo arrived on transfer deadline day, we would be over the moon. We would be a lot more ecstatic. And now, because we got in Cody Gakpo in December 2022, so around Christmas time, we waited all January for a midfield transfer. It failed to arrive, and now the whole Liverpool fan base is absolutely destroyed. And I think it's absolutely disgraceful that FSG didn't back Jurgen Klopp. If Liverpool finish in like 7th, 8th, 9th place 10th place in the Premier League, and that will be on FSG as much as it is on, of course, the players, and the injury record is absolutely atrocious. And I don't understand how Liverpool can have 17 hamstring injuries in just 6 months when the average is 5 per year per club. 5 hamstring injuries per year. That's the average in the Premier League. Liverpool have 17 in 6 months, which means that if it continues at this rate, we will have 34 hamstring injuries in 1 year, which is 7 times more than the average. And I also wanted to explore the potential reasons of why Liverpool didn't sign a midfielder, because we could have brought in a midfielder on loan, that's pretty clear, but Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool hierarchy decided against it. Probably FSG want to save as much money as possible for the Jude Bellingham deal, but imagine if Jude Bellingham decides to not join Liverpool, then we will be in absolute agony and crisis in the summer transfer window. But since the World Cup, Naby Keita has returned to fitness and to also some form, and Stefan Bajcetic is now playing like a player who could play for the next 10-15 years in the Liverpool midfield, and he is just 18 years old. And also Bandok, who is only just 16 years old, is a huge talent, and Liverpool have done really well getting these absolutely outstanding young players with superb attitudes and great potential. Kyle Gordon I included in this list as well. When he was 18, is he also nearing fitness after 1 year of hip injury. And yes, everybody is envious of Chelsea, but they signing all these players, Chelsea's youth academy will turn into a wasteland. And Bajcetic is already good enough to start every game, even though he's probably not as strong, not as dynamic that he will be when he's fully grown. He's still only 18 years old, his body is still growing, but he's easily the best young Liverpool midfielder probably in the last 10-15 years because of how young he is and how good he is at just 18 years old. Some people are even saying that Bajcetic is a little bit better than Steven Gerrard was at 18 years old. Of course, I don't want to compare the two, because Steven Gerrard became the best midfielder in the world. He definitely deserves the hype for now. And if we were to sign a world-class midfielder after world-class midfielder, then these young players wouldn't get enough playing time to grow and develop. Bajcetic, Bandok, Kyle Gordon and others need space in the Liverpool squad so they can play, grow and develop, and Jurgen Klopp can hopefully, even though maybe this will be a painful season, hopefully Jurgen Klopp can improve them and get them ready for next season's top 4 challenge. And every match that Bajcetic plays in the second half of the season will help his development, his football education, and then in the summer he can bulk up a little bit, he can hit the gym and get more muscular and hopefully bigger, stronger and more energetic in the middle of the park. Remember that when Bajcetic joined Liverpool, he only was 16 years old, and the likes of Man United, Barcelona and Real Madrid were begging to get him, begging for his signature. And also don't forget Tyler Morton, who is just turned 20 years old. He's on loan at Blackburn, and the Blackburn fans are raving about him and how good he is, and he could become a real option for Liverpool next season. It's good that we can promote these young players from within or get them very young, very cheap, but of course it is no substitute for Premier League experience and for experience on the international stage. And short term, Chelsea's plan might work, that they might finish ahead of Liverpool this season, but long term, hopefully Liverpool can nurture these talents and save a lot of money in the process, because if even just 1 or 2 players out of Bandok, Bajcetic, Kyle Gordon, Tyler Morton, even if just 1 out of those 4 players turn into a world-class midfielder or a world-class wide player, then Liverpool made an absolutely brilliant recruitment job and transfer decision by signing these young players. And also there is Fabio Carvalho and Harvey Elliott. This season is probably a write-off, and no Liverpool fan really is expecting top 4 finish. So let's try and go for it in the second half of the season. Use the young players, give them playing time, give them time to fail, to develop, to learn from their mistakes, and also to get better and get their football education on the pitch in the Premier League. That's the best experience. And then we will see where we are at the end of the season. I'm not saying that I'm happy with the decision of course, Liverpool not signing a midfielder, but maybe these are some of the reasons that I tried to come up with, that Liverpool maybe will be in the long term benefiting from keeping these young players as one of their main parts of the Liverpool squad. Because at Chelsea, if you are a young player, for example, they signed Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa. How many games will he play? Now that they have Enzo Fernandez and all these other midfielders and forward players, you can't develop young players if you keep buying these world-class superstars. And also, no young player really would want to join Chelsea after this crazy summer and January transfer spending, because they will know that they will get no playing time or very little playing time. At Liverpool, however, they know if a young player wants to join Liverpool, it's the perfect place to be, because 19-year-old Harvey Elliott has virtually played every single game this season, either as a starter or as a substitute, which I think is brilliant. Also for future young players who might want to join Liverpool. So for example, Tyler Morton could easily take the place of Naby Keita in the squad next season, with a busy playing style that also mirrors Thiago's passing and tight, sharp turning ability. Perhaps he could have been brought back from his loan, but he's getting brilliant experience in a promotion battle to the Premier League with Blackburn. And also Arthur Melo is almost fit again, so that's a bonus, but it's I don't want to use it's like a new signing, because Arthur Melo hasn't been like a new signing, he has been like a ghost. But the Arthur Melo's season has been a joke. He got injured after just playing 13 minutes for Liverpool. That's like literally the worst injury record that I've ever seen. But Arthur once was a fairly elite player for Barcelona and for the Brazil team that won the Copa America with Firmino and Alisson in 2019. And Arthur is still only 26 years old. So if he can hit full fitness and match sharpness, then he could be almost as good as Naby Keita. Naby Keita has been brilliant since he came back from his long injury, but that's the problem. He misses half a season with an injury and then he comes back, plays a few games, but we are only waiting for Naby Keita to get injured again, aren't we? Because that's how his career has been so far. Yes, Liverpool have the numbers. We have Alexis Chamberlain, we have Arthur coming back from injury, we have Naby Keita, but I still would have wanted an experienced player like Marcel Sabitzer to come in and to help Liverpool, because against Real Madrid, I mean, if we are playing with Alexis Chamberlain or Arthur Melo, I don't expect Liverpool to knock Real Madrid out anyway. But without a midfielder signing, it's like mission impossible. But sometimes that works in Liverpool's favor when everything is stacked against them. Liverpool are a classic underdog. Virtually nobody will expect Liverpool to knock Real Madrid out, and maybe we can swing a surprise. Who knows? Because Jota or Luis Diaz, or hopefully both, will be back for maybe the first leg or maybe the second leg of the Real Madrid game. Curtis Jones is having a really bad season with injuries, and also Fabio Carvalho hasn't shown enough to me to justify his hype, but he also barely played. I mean, he scored in his first game back after the World Cup against Man City, and then Jurgen Klopp doesn't play him for 5 games. That can't be good for your development for sure. So just to summarize, Liverpool now have Naby Keita, Ox, Jones fit again, Arthur Melo nearing fitness, and they have Bajcetic, who really burst onto the scene, and he's now better than Fabinho, a much better option. And even Sander Berge of Sheffield United wouldn't have been the worst signing, because he's a very tall, very big, muscular midfielder. He's a real presence. And then at the moment, that's what Liverpool are missing the most. The pressing monsters, the pressing machines who can run around in midfield all day long and harass the opposition into mistakes. And that's what Liverpool have been lacking. That's what Liverpool have been missing. I would love to have a fast, physical, very strong midfielder, but it wasn't to be. Sheffield United in the end decided selling Sander Berge, and we are not even sure that Liverpool were in the running for him. And some journalists already said that Liverpool aren't actively looking to replace Julian Ward. They aren't actively looking to have transfer guru, a transfer strategist. They already have people who are, of course, data analysts and scouts. But maybe Liverpool will promote somebody within. Julian Ward cannot work for another football club for 1 whole year. So he's getting a sabbatical, going on a break, just like Michael Edwards did 1 year ago, or like almost 1 year ago. And Liverpool are clearly in the transitional period in terms of people behind the scenes and the team on the pitch as well. And Jurgen Klopp has an excellent record of developing young players, but it's harder to get them into a title-chasing team. This season will likely be viewed as one where the next generation started coming through. I feel the team has a better shape and energy at the moment than when Fabinho and Henderson was playing. And I think it's obvious when Virgil van Dijk and Konate comes back, when Luis Diaz, Jota, Firmino all come back, Liverpool will have an abundance of options up front and in defense, and hopefully with the Artur Melo fully fit and Naby Keita back fit and in form, hopefully Liverpool's midfield struggles are behind them. But I still can't see a world where Liverpool get 8 or 9 or 10 more points than Man United and Newcastle in the second half of the season, because that's literally what it would take for Liverpool to finish in the top 4. I would be even happy with a 5th or 6th place finish at the moment. And the injuries also are weird, because when players get injuries, you can't rotate as much. So the players you have fit after the other players are injured, they get overplayed, they play too much, and then they get injured as well. So injuries is like a snowball. It starts small at the top of the mountain, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and it's getting a bigger and a bigger problem for Liverpool. And virtually the only player I think who stayed fit all season is Mohamed Salah, maybe Alisson as well, but I can't remember anybody else who hasn't had some knocks or niggles or who hasn't missed some games. But when it comes to the attacking options, Liverpool had the worst luck with injuries. I mean, Firmino literally got injured just a day or two before the restart of the season, after having 1 month off during the World Cup. I thought Firmino will come back re-energized and really going to tear up the Premier League. We thought the same with Mohamed Salah, but the forward line is so disjointed that there is no rhythm in the forward line and there is no settled formation. We are using at the moment Cody Gakpo as a Firmino type of player, pressing from the front, sometimes dropping deep, and we will try to get Darwin Núñez and Salah to become in a sync with Gakpo. And hopefully when that forward line settles down and plays a few games together, hopefully we will see better output, because I think defensively Liverpool have been a lot more solid since that Brighton 3-0 defeat. But going forward, of course, focusing on the defensive solidity of the team. Going forward, Liverpool are not creating as many chances and obviously as a result not scoring that many chances. So hopefully that can be fixed by Jurgen Klopp in the coming weeks and months. This is going to be a hugely important month for Liverpool. If we mess this up, then our season is definitely over. But if we don't, if we get some wins against Wolves and Everton, then who knows? Maybe we can do something still in this Premier League season. And I don't expect anything in the Champions League, but maybe Liverpool will surprise us. Who knows? We will find out. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.